In March of 1998, Amy Lynn Bradley vanished from the Rhapsody of the Seas cruise ship en route to Curaçao. 7 years later, her family received a troubling photograph hinting at her fate. At approximately 5:30 a.m. on March 24th, 1998, Ron Bradley caught sight of his daughter, Amy, relaxing on the balcony of their cabin. Just 30 minutes later, when he looked again, she had disappeared without a trace, while the most straightforward explanation would be that Amy fell overboard. Her strong swimming skills and proximity to the shore cast doubt on this theory. Despite extensive investigations, her disappearance remains an enduring mystery. Amy's family's cruise, initially a vacation, took a grim turn. The Bradleys, Ron, Iva, Amy, and Brad, set sail on the Rhapsody of the Seas from Puerto Rico on March 21st, 1998, bound for Aruba and Curaçao in the Netherlands Antilles. On the evening of March 23rd, while the ship was docked near Curaçao, Amy and her brother enjoyed the ship's entertainment. Amy was last seen dancing with a band member named Yellow, also known as Alistair Douglas, before retiring to her cabin with her brother. The next morning, Ron Bradley observed his daughter on the deck before she vanished. Despite frantic searches by her family and crew, Amy was nowhere to be found. Concerns escalated when the ship docked at Curaçao, potentially offering an opportunity for foul play or abduction. The subsequent search for Amy yielded little cooperation from the cruise staff. Despite suspicions of crew involvement, their concerns were largely dismissed. Reports of sightings emerged, including a sighting by 2 Canadian tourists and another by a Navy officer. But these leads proved fruitless. Over the years, the Bradley family faced false hopes, scams, and distressing sightings, including a photograph of a woman resembling Amy in distress, purportedly involved in sex trafficking. Despite ongoing investigations and rewards offered for information, Amy's whereabouts still remain unknown, leaving her disappearance a haunting enigma. In December of 2004, Anette Mizener embarked on a Carnival Lines cruise ship adventure with her teenage daughter and her parents. Winning the cruise in a contest, she looked forward to a relaxing 7-day excursion ending in Long Beach, California. Annette's evening on December 4th began with karaoke alongside her 17-year-old daughter before she ventured to the casino. However, she had promised her parents she would join them for bingo. When she failed to appear, concern rippled through her family. Annette's parents reported her absence to the ship's crew, triggering an immediate search effort. During the search, a chilling discovery unfolded. Annette's purse lay abandoned in the smoking area on a lower deck. This finding perplexed investigators, as Annette was a non-smoker who detested the scent of cigarettes. Adding to the mystery, the purse's beaded shoulder strap was broken, suggesting a struggle had transpired. Unconfirmed reports hinted at the presence of small blood spots nearby. Even more bewildering was the deliberate obstruction of evidence. A map of the ship, typically provided to passengers upon boarding, was strategically placed to to obscure the camera recording the area where Annette's purse was discovered. Adding another layer of intrigue, Annette's daughter revealed that she and her mother had reported a man for harassing Annette multiple times during the cruise. Despite these complaints, no action was taken by the authorities. Despite exhaustive search efforts, both on the ship and in the surrounding waters, Annette was never found. Her disappearance led to her being declared legally deceased in 2005, leaving behind a haunting mystery with more questions than answers. On Christmas Day 2018, amidst the festive atmosphere aboard Royal Caribbean International's Harmony of the Seas, 20-year-old performer Arron Hough vanished without a trace, leaving a void in the hearts of his loved ones and sparking a harrowing search effort off the coast of Puerto Rico. Arron, a cherished member of the ship's entertainment team, was last seen on Deck 5 in the early hours of the morning. Despite extensive surveillance footage, there are conflicting accounts regarding the circumstances surrounding his disappearance, prompting ongoing investigations into the incident. In the days leading up to his vanishing, Arron's social media activity hinted at underlying struggles, with cryptic tweets juxtaposing moments of apparent distress with glimpses of joy from his performances. His final tweet, shared just hours before he went missing, captured a moment of levity as he danced in the ship's production of Grease. The absence of conclusive evidence has left Arron's family and friends in a state of limbo, clinging to hope while grappling with the uncertainty of his fate. A social media campaign under the hashtag #PrayForArron has rallied support from across the globe as loved ones refuse to lose faith in his safe return. As the search effort continues, Arron's disappearance serves as a sobering reminder of life's fragility, casting a shadow over the holiday season and prompting reflection on the complexities of mental health at sea. His infectious spirit and radiant smile are sorely missed, leaving those who knew him heartbroken, yet hopeful for a resolution to this tragic mystery. The Kepley family had been eagerly anticipating their trip to Alaska for months. 14 relatives, spanning 3 generations, embarked on the cruise ship, a vessel named Oosterdam. Among them was Blake Kepley, a 20-year-old from Fallbrook. With a passion for the outdoors and a love for fishing inherited from his family, Blake was thrilled at the prospect of exploring the rugged beauty of Alaska. His twin brother, Alec, and older brother, Dylan, were by his side, along with his father, Mark. But then, tragedy struck. In the early hours of Friday, July 22nd, 2011, between the cities of Sitka and Ketchikan, Blake vanished. His absence was noticed with a sinking dread by his family as they woke up in the morning. Panic set in as they searched every corner of the ship, hoping to find him safe and sound. Yet, Blake was nowhere to be found. The news spread quickly, sending shockwaves through the tight-knit community back home. Blake's great-aunt, Caroline Helgren, who had organized the trip, struggled to come to terms with the sudden turn of events. The once celebratory journey had transformed into a nightmare. As the Coast Guard launched an intensive search operation, scouring the vast expanse of ocean for any sign of Blake, the Kepley family grappled with fear and uncertainty. Despite the exhaustive efforts of search teams, spanning 352 square miles and utilizing helicopters and boats, there was no trace of the missing young man. For the Kepley family, the return journey from Alaska was a somber one. Their hearts heavy with grief and unanswered questions, they clung to each other for support, finding solace in their shared memories of Blake. Back in Fallbrook, a sense of sorrow hung over the community. Blake Kepley, with his infectious smile and zest for life, had touched the lives of many. Friends and neighbors rallied around the family, offering comfort and support in their darkest hour. As they awaited further news about Blake's mysterious disappearance, the Kepley family held on to hope, praying for a miracle that would bring their beloved son and brother back to them. But amidst the uncertainty, one thing remained clear. Blake Kepley would always be remembered for his warmth, his kindness, and the joy he brought to those around him. Fariba Amani embarked on a cruise with her boyfriend, Ramiz Gulshani, in 2012, a journey that would end in perplexity and tragedy. Uncertainty shrouds the events surrounding Fariba Amani's disappearance from a cruise ship en route from the Bahamas to Florida. The 47-year-old Canadian woman vanished on February 29, 2012, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Fariba's decision to join the cruise with Ramiz was not driven by enthusiasm. Family members reveal that she hesitated, agreeing only because the trip was prepaid. She intended to assess the relationship upon their return home, contemplating a potential breakup. According to Ramiz, the night of her disappearance unfolded without incident. He claims to have last seen Fariba near a duty-free shop around 1 a.m., retiring to bed shortly afterward. It wasn't until the morning that he realized she hadn't returned to their room, prompting a search and eventual alerting of the crew. However, Fariba's family paints a different picture. They express skepticism about her accidental fall overboard, citing her sobriety and alleging Ramiz's potential involvement. Concerns about infidelity and controlling behavior had plagued their relationship, leading Fariba to consider termination. Despite extensive investigations and searches, Fariba's whereabouts remain a haunting enigma. Ramiz, though not considered a suspect, faces scrutiny from Amani's family, who criticize his silence and lack of communication. As the investigation persists, the void left by Fariba Amani's disappearance continues to torment her loved ones, awaiting closure and justice in the face of an unfathomable tragedy. In the summer of 2005, the honeymoon of George Allen Smith and Jennifer Hagel took a tragic turn when George mysteriously disappeared from the Royal Caribbean cruise ship Brilliance of the Seas on July 5th. The couple had recently exchanged vows in a lavish ceremony in Newport, Rhode Island. But their joy was short-lived as George vanished under suspicious circumstances, while the ship sailed off the coast of Turkey in the Mediterranean Sea. The events leading up to George's disappearance raised numerous questions and fueled speculation about foul play. Reports indicated that George and Jennifer had been drinking heavily and gambling at the ship's casino before his vanishing. On the night in question, Jennifer was allegedly found passed out drunk in a ship corridor, far from their cabin. She was escorted back to their room by security personnel, leaving George unattended. Subsequent investigations revealed bloodstains running from the balcony of George's cabin to the lifeboats, adding to the mystery surrounding his fate. Despite extensive efforts by the FBI, including interviews with witnesses and analysis of evidence, no conclusive answers emerged regarding George's disappearance. His body was never recovered, leaving his family devastated and desperate for closure. In the aftermath of George's vanishing, Jennifer reached a $1 million settlement with Royal Caribbean in 2007, suggesting that her husband's death may have been accidental. This settlement strained relations between Jennifer and George's family, who believed she knew more about his disappearance than she was disclosing. The Smith family criticized the settlement as inadequate and pushed for further investigation into George's death. Despite the turmoil, Jennifer sought to rebuild her life. She embarked on a career at the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research in New York City, and later relocated to Fairfield, Connecticut. In 2009, Jennifer remarried financial analyst Jeff Agney, with whom she now shares 2 daughters. Meanwhile, the Smith family continued their quest for justice, challenging Jennifer's settlement with Royal Caribbean and demanding access to investigative files. The FBI's decision to close its criminal investigation into George's death in recent years dealt a blow to their efforts, leaving them without answers or closure. The story of Hue Pham and Hue Tran, a devoted Vietnamese couple who had faced the trials of war and migration, took an unexpected turn during a long-awaited Caribbean cruise with their daughter and granddaughter. Little did they anticipate that this voyage would thrust them into a baffling mystery, fraught with unanswered questions. Their journey began amidst the tumult of the Vietnam War, where they sought freedom and safety by embarking on a perilous sea voyage to America. Against all odds, they survived and built a new life in Southern California, nurturing their family and embracing hope for the future. In May 2005, after nearly 5 decades of marriage, their lives were filled with joy and anticipation. Their daughter and granddaughter surprised them with a lavish Caribbean cruise aboard the Carnival cruise ship Destiny, a heartfelt gesture to celebrate Mother's Day and their enduring bond. With excitement in their hearts, the family set sail from San Juan, Puerto Rico, eager to explore the sun-drenched islands of the Caribbean. However, on May 12, 2005, their tranquility was shattered. As the cruise ship sailed through serene waters, Pham and Tran mysteriously vanished. Their daughter stumbled upon her mother's belongings, abandoned on the ship's deck, sparking a frantic search that yielded no sign of the missing couple. Despite desperate pleas, the cruise authorities continued on their course, and the search efforts yielded no results. Days passed with mounting anguish and confusion as search and rescue missions scoured the Caribbean Sea to no avail. Speculation arose, but no explanation could fully account for their disappearance. With no evidence of foul play, accident, or intent, the truth remained elusive. In the face of authorities' silence, the family turned their grief into advocacy. Michael Pham, their son, became a staunch advocate for stricter regulations in the cruise industry, seeking to honor his parents' memory through transparency and accountability. Yet, despite their efforts, Hue Pham and Hue Tran remained among the many lost to the sea. Their fate classified as death at sea, they became symbols of a haunting mystery, forever remembered amidst the vastness of the ocean. In the small town of Olympia, Washington, there lived a man named Jason Rappe. At 42, he had seen his fair share of life's ups and downs, but his spirit remained unbroken, buoyed by the love of his wife, Tina. Their life took an unexpected turn when they decided to embark on a 7-day Eastern Caribbean cruise aboard the MS Eurodam. It was meant to be a week of relaxation and adventure, a chance for them to escape the routine of everyday life. Little did they know, their journey would soon take a tragic turn. On the fateful Thursday of November 29th, Tina's world shattered into a million pieces as she reported her beloved husband missing. The ship was cruising about 80 miles northwest of Puerto Rico when Jason vanished without a trace. The days that followed were a blur of confusion and heartache. Passengers aboard the MS Eurodam recounted conflicting stories about the events leading up to Jason's disappearance. Some spoke of raucous pub crawls and wild parties, while others remembered a more subdued atmosphere. Amidst the chaos, whispers of over-serving alcohol and potential negligence by the cruise line began to spread. Jason's family and friends cried foul, accusing the authorities of withholding crucial evidence that could shed light on his fate. They demanded answers, refusing to accept that Jason's disappearance was simply a tragic accident. As the legal battle loomed on the horizon, Tina clung to the memories of her beloved husband, desperately seeking closure amidst the storm of uncertainty. For Jason, Rappe was more than just a name lost at sea. He was a husband, a son, a friend, a soul cherished and missed beyond measure. And until the truth was uncovered, his story would remain etched in the hearts of those who loved him, a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the relentless pursuit of justice. The case of Kevin McGrath's disappearance during a Carnival cruise trip from Miami to Bimini, Bahamas, has sparked significant attention and concern, especially from his family and authorities. McGrath's disappearance, coupled with the lack of evidence indicating what happened to him, has led to various speculations and efforts to find him. Kevin, a 26-year-old passenger, went missing from the Carnival cruise ship during the Labor Day holiday weekend. He was last seen around 2 a.m. on Monday, September 4th, and his family reported him missing when he didn't show up for breakfast at 7:30 a.m. Authorities launched a large-scale investigation involving Miami-Dade police, the Coast Guard, and other agencies. Despite extensive searches on land and water, including the use of helicopters, no trace of Kevin has been found. Investigations have included the review of surveillance footage from the ship and interviews with family members and other travelers. However, no evidence has been found to indicate whether Kevin went overboard or left the ship voluntarily. Kevin's family, including his father, Sean McGrath, and his ex-wife, Addison Thomas, have expressed deep concern and hope for his safe return. Thomas, in particular, believes McGrath is still alive and emphasizes his love for his children and family. Kevin had a legal history, having pleaded guilty to aggravated assault in Tennessee in September 2022. However, his ex-wife and family defend him, stating that his past does not define him and that he is not a dangerous person. The case remains active, but as time passes, the likelihood of finding Kevin alive diminishes. The uncertainty surrounding his disappearance has taken an emotional toll on his family, particularly his mother, who is desperate for closure. Despite extensive efforts and public attention, Kevin's whereabouts remain unknown, leaving his family and authorities grappling with unanswered questions and hoping for a resolution to the mystery. 2004, the world was shocked by the sudden disappearance of Merrian Carver, a 40-year-old woman who embarked on a Royal Caribbean cruise to Alaska and never returned. Despite the efforts of her family to uncover the truth, the cruise line's negligence and secrecy only deepened the mystery surrounding her vanishing. Merrian's journey began with a spontaneous decision to board the Royal Caribbean Celebrity Mercury cruise ship, departing from Seattle for a 7-day voyage to Alaska. Unbeknownst to her family, she set out alone, leaving behind her life in Massachusetts. What followed was a series of baffling events that would leave her loved ones reeling. On the second day of the cruise, Merrian disappeared without a trace. Despite concerns raised by the ship's steward, who reported her missing repeatedly, the cruise line failed to take appropriate action. Her belongings were disposed of, her cabin left unsecured, and no efforts were made to notify the authorities or her family. It wasn't until weeks later that her father, Kendall Carver, learned of her disappearance and began his quest for answers. The subsequent investigation revealed a pattern of negligence and cover-up by the cruise line. Surveillance footage was conveniently erased, crucial evidence was discarded, and the truth was obscured by misleading statements from the company. Despite their claims of suicide, Merrian's family remained convinced that foul play was involved. Kendall's relentless pursuit of justice led him to establish the International Cruise Victims Association, advocating for transparency and accountability within the cruise industry. Through his efforts, he sought to prevent others from enduring the same agony he faced in his search for his daughter. Merrian's story serves as a sobering reminder of the dangers that lurk beneath the surface of seemingly idyllic cruise vacations. As her family continues to seek closure, they stand as a beacon of hope for all those who have lost loved ones to the sea, determined to shine a light on the truth and hold accountable those responsible for their pain. Rebecca Coriam, a 24-year-old from Chester, England, vanished mysteriously from the Disney Wonder cruise ship on March 22, 2011, off the coast of Mexico, leaving behind a troubling mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Officially, Disney has attributed Rebecca's disappearance to a rogue wave, despite weather reports suggesting otherwise. However, skepticism surrounds this explanation, especially considering the extensive efforts to locate her yielded no results. Her case is not an isolated incident within the cruise industry. Since 2000, over 300 documented cases of individuals disappearing from cruise ships have been recorded, with few resolutions. This statistic is likely an underestimation due to underreporting, indicating a pervasive issue within the industry. Rebecca's story garnered significant attention due to its publicity. However, more than a decade later, key questions surrounding her disappearance remain unanswered. On the morning of her disappearance, Rebecca was captured on CCTV, appearing distressed while conversing on an internal phone line and wearing men's clothing. Despite this footage, she vanished without a trace before her scheduled shift, triggering an extensive search effort involving Disney staff, the United States Coast Guard, and the Mexican Navy. Concerns arose regarding Disney's handling of the situation, including allegations of providing incorrect coordinates to search teams and tampering with evidence. Additionally, jurisdictional complexities further complicated the investigation, as the ship was registered in the Bahamas. Rebecca's parents, Mike and Anne Coriam, expressed dissatisfaction with Disney's response, feeling marginalized and manipulated. They enlisted the help of private investigator Roy Rappe and sought assistance from politicians to uncover the truth. As the investigation progressed, discrepancies emerged in Disney's narrative, such as altered CCTV footage and questionable physical evidence, contradictory weather conditions, and the discovery of a sandal with incorrect markings further fueled suspicions. Disturbing accounts from crew members suggested Disney withheld crucial evidence, while reports of personal struggles and relationship issues added complexity to the narrative, including rumors of a love triangle in Rebecca's life. To this day, Rebecca's disappearance remains a mystery. A 28-year-old Louisiana man, Tyler Barnett, vanished from the Carnival Glory cruise ship during its voyage from New Orleans to Jamaica, the Caribbean, and Mexico, sparking a frantic search effort and raising questions about the circumstances of his disappearance. Initial reports from Tyler's family suggested that he was last seen by relatives aboard the ship around 11:40 p.m. on Sunday night. However, when they checked his cabin the next day, he was nowhere to be found. Surveillance records indicated that his passenger card was swiped at the onboard casino and used to enter his room around midnight. But his bed remained untouched, deepening the mystery surrounding his disappearance. Efforts to locate Tyler on board the ship proved unsuccessful, prompting the involvement of the United States Coast Guard in search operations. Despite extensive search efforts encompassing over 200 miles of the ship's route, Tyler remained missing. Conflicting narratives emerged regarding Tyler's fate, with Carnival Cruise Line asserting that there was no surveillance footage indicating he went overboard, while his family maintained that he may have slipped accidentally. The search for Tyler was suspended after 3 days, with Coast Guard crews covering miles of the Gulf of Mexico, battling adverse weather conditions throughout the operation. Carnival Cruise Line's assertion, based on shipboard surveillance reviews, suggested that Tyler jumped from deck 4 of the vessel. However, Tyler's family disputed this claim, insisting that he slipped off the deck and did not intentionally go overboard. Described as an avid outdoorsman and devoted father of twin daughters, Tyler's disappearance has left his family devastated and searching for answers. His grandmother, Darlene Tate Mason, expressed disbelief at the unfolding tragedy, emphasizing Tyler's love for outdoor activities and his commitment to his family. As questions linger and investigations continue, Tyler's loved ones remain hopeful for his safe return, while grappling with the uncertainties surrounding his disappearance. The Carnival Glory, continuing its scheduled voyage, serves as a backdrop to the unresolved mystery of Tyler Barnett's disappearance at sea.